Sit down, smoke a bowl. It's time for the Fire Safety Meeting, Movie Edition. And now, your hosts, Travis and Jesse.
I'm Travis.
And I'm Jesse. Welcome to the Fire Safety Meetings Rehash Monday, where we review movies before their DVD release. This week's movie is 2016's The Finest Hour. It has a rating of PG-13 and a runtime of 1 hour and 57 minutes. It is directed by Craig Gillespie. It stars Chris Pine, Casey Affleck, Ben Foster, Eric Bana, Holliday Grainger, Kyle Gallner, and Joe Magaro.
This historical action drama takes place in 1952 off the shores of Massachusetts, in the rough waters of the Cape Cod Bay, where a large storm hits and destroys a pair of oil tankers. Casey Affleck plays one of the oil tanker's ship engineers and has to keep the ship afloat until the Coast Guards come and rescue them. Chris Pine and Ben Foster play two of the four Coast Guards that get the opportunity to ride these 70-foot waves to rescue the 32 survivors of the Pendleton, with a boat that's made to hold only 12 people.
It was tiny.
It was. I thought this movie was moderately entertaining. It wasn't necessarily a movie I'll seek out, but if it does come up, I will watch it again. Chris Pine's character didn't really capture me. I'm sure his acting was spot on to the actual captain, but to me, he didn't suck me in to the storyline with his part. But when the four guys are trolling around in the Cape Cod Bay before they go out, and they're looking at these 70-foot waves that they're going to have to try to climb with this 36-foot boat.
Right.
It just, the intensity was like, oh shit. I mean, you could see they made me believe that they felt like they weren't going to make it back from this one.
Well, I thought it was weird that they had to stay on the top deck. You would think that at some point they would go beneath deck, but there was like nothing underneath there to hide from or to be in. You would just die.
It was just a motor. Right?
Yeah, it was like nothing. They had no protection whatsoever except for like a windshield.
And when that guy came slamming down off that wave, oh my god. I thought he was going to be knocked out.
So I disagree with you. I thought this movie was really good. I liked Chris Pine's character. I thought it was charming. But I thought Holliday Grainger stole the show as Merriam-Webber. I don't think they weren't married in the movie. I could feel her feelings for him, how much she admired him, how much she really didn't want to lose him, and she really had no choice in the matter.
Chris Pine made me think that he really didn't want to be in that relationship. And he's like, I got nothing better to do.
Yeah. Well, I just think he just didn't want her to lose anything. He wanted her to be happy, and if they ended up together married, maybe she would be more sad because they were married. But I thought he did a charming job as Bernie Weber. I thought he did a great job. Casey Affleck was even palatable.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but he did a decent job in this movie. Just a little unbelievable that people be looking to Casey Affleck for answers.
What the character was, he didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
He was a mildly autistic, antisocial guy. He wasn't, there wasn't much acting needed. He was cool, calm, and collected. He didn't smile or frown or anything. The whole movie, he just kind of was Casey Affleck.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm glad to see that Abraham Benrubi,
yeah, I think that's what it is
still getting work. I like to see him in that movie. I remember him all the way back from Parker Lewis Can't Lose back in the 90s.
He was also on
ER.
ER, that's right.
Yeah, most people might remember him from ER. And the special effects in this movie were pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Those waves, I mean, those were killer waves, and how he got through them was just amazing. I give this movie 3 out of 5 joints. The story was well put together. The acting was good as a collective unit. It definitely a movie I would watch again.
I also give this movie 3 out of 5 joints. I definitely recommend for people to go pick this up on Tuesday when it comes out. It was exciting. It was scary. It was heroic. Don't forget, it is also a book. Craig Gillespie did a fantastic job.
Next movie we got up is 2016's Hail Caesar, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour and 46 minutes, directed by the Coen brothers, starring Josh Brolin, George Clooney, Alden Ehrenreich, Ralph Fiennes, Scarlett Johansson, Tilda Swinton, Channing Tatum, and Jonah Hill.
So this movie takes place in 1950s Hollywood as a studio exec, also known as a fixer, tries to keep his actors in line or tries to keep them under control as, unbeknownst to him, there's a communist plot going on within his studio trying to extort or take back a measure of power from the Hollywood bigwigs. So I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was funny in parts. It was definitely dry in parts.
It was more of a smarter humor.
Right. Channing Tatum stole the show. That's all I gotta say.
Yes.
He has this elaborate dance scene for one of the movies they're making at this studio, where him and a bunch of other seamen
sailors
are dancing in a bar that they're being kicked out of.
A musical number.
Yeah, it is funny. He is a great dancer.
Well, he's done all those dance movies, but Step It Up. There was also Magic Mike.
Josh Brolin, though, he was really good. It seems like he should have been born in that era. Like that would all his movies take place like in the past, and he kills it. Whenever he has to play someone that's like a period piece in the past, he just gets into the character and he becomes like a 1950s guy that you would see that you envision being.
Oh, he did an awesome job in this movie. I like seeing the studios, how different movies going on everywhere. I mean, really busy place, and how they showed us little scenes from each movie, and it all kind of ties together to one plot.
I like the marriage subplot where it's almost like these actors and actresses are like trading cards.
Yeah.
So they just marry different people so that they can promote their movies or their brand. I thought George Clooney played a fantastic actor because he was an actor in the movie.
It's what you think of when you think of a 1950s top actor.
He was completely oblivious, bourgeois, didn't really care about much except for the art of acting, and he nailed it. He's the one who gets pulled into this communist plot that's going on, and
he's just so interested about it. He's like, "Oh, tell me more."
He doesn't seem worried about it in the least, and it's hilarious. I really like Alden Ehrenreich. He played Hobie Doyle, the cowboy guy. He was really good. That accent was really good.
Yeah, the little stunts he did in the first opening movie, the movie he was in at the beginning, the cowboy western, it was pretty good. I give this movie 3 out of 5 joints. I thought there was a lot going on, but they put it together so it assembled a nice plot. Everything added up to be something instead of just fillers.
Right.
It was a little predictable. You saw where it was going to go, but it was still entertaining to me. And George Clooney was just simply funny.
Absolutely. I also give this movie 3 out of 5 joints. It was enjoyable. It was a little slow at times, but Josh Brolin and George Clooney killed it. They played their characters perfectly, and I definitely recommend this movie when it comes out on Tuesday. And our third and final movie of the night is Neighbors 2, Sorority Rising. It came out last Friday. Me and Travis had the opportunity to see it in theaters. It has a rating of R, a runtime of 1 hour and 32 minutes, and it is directed by Nicholas Stoller. It stars Seth Rogen, Zac Efron, Rose Byrne, Chloe Grace Moretz, and Dave Franco.
Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne play a married couple that are selling their house and only need 30 days of complete normality to finish the selling process, but unfortunately a newfound sorority moves in next door with the help of the party liaison, Zac Efron, and they are hitting the neighborhood with a bang. I thought this movie was better than the first. The first one seemed like it just got smashed together. I don't know if it was because they're trying to keep an R rating and not having to put an X rating or something. But the first one just seemed like it wasn't put together very well. I like this one better. I think that Seth Rogen stepping in to help with the writing made it a little smoother.
Okay. I thought this movie wasn't as good as the first one. It was definitely entertaining, and it was funny. There are many movies that can make me like actually laugh, and not just like a regular but like a sustained where you're just like really laughing about it. Even like a second ago, you're just like, I can't believe you got a tampon in the face. Like you're just like, oh my god, you don't see that shit in movies. But there were parts of this movie that were fucking terrible when they were talking about how bad of parents they were and all the things they said that they've done to their kid.
Oh yeah,
take these children away from these people. It was definitely a fun movie. all the way to the end.
Well, it was a 90-minute comedy filled with cheap laughs and push-button humor.
Yeah.
He always pushes the line in his movies. And I mean, the opening scene when she's on top of him and she
vomits right into his face.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, you knew it was coming. You're like, oh my god, why is it either of a movie?
I
What
thought
are you doing?
I thought she was gonna poop on him. Actually, that's what I thought I was. But
I gave this movie 3 out of 5 joints. I would definitely put it in my Seth Rogen collection.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
I think it does make part 1 a little bit better, but like I said, I think this one was better than the first.
Okay. I give this movie 2 out of 5 joints. I thought it was funny. It wasn't as good as the first one. You know, it made me laugh, and that's no small thing. I think they're going to make a third one. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Surprise me.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. We'll see you in a minute. Welcome, I'm Todd.
And I'm Todd. We're here today to tell you about an exclusive offer that can only be found here.
Oh, yeah, Todd? What is it?
I'm glad you asked, Todd with 2 Ds. This product will change your life. You've heard of the Kanye West clothing line.
Yeah,
You've heard of the Kanye West shoe line.
I sure have.
Now introducing the Kanye West butt plug.
Now I, too, can feel like Kanye West?
That's right, Todd with 2 Ds. Now you can feel like Kanye West. I could feel like Kanye West. Everyone and anyone can feel like Kanye West.
How can we order this new product?
But wait, Todd with 2 Ds, there's more.
More?
Yes, more.
More?
Yes, Todd with 2 Ds. These butt plugs come in 2 different sizes. The Amber Rose Finger Popper and the Knuckle Deep.
Wow, that sounds expensive.
No, Todd with 2 Ds, your mother sounds expensive. This is completely affordable with just 5 payments of $39.99. These butt plugs can be yours.
But wait, Todd, if our viewers call in the next hour, we will cut that price in half.
That's right, Todd with 2 Ds. Tell us how they can order this exclusive product.
They can order by dialing 1-800-555-WEST. Once again, that's 1-800-555-WEST. So if you order in the next hour, you'll receive 2 Kanye West butt plugs for 5 easy payments of $19.99.
That's right, Todd with 2 Ds. And there's more.
More?
Yes, more. The first 100 callers will receive the newest Kanye West butt plug. The Ray J Gapper.
The Ray J Gapper?
Yes, the Ray J Gapper. So Todd with 2 Ds, tell these people everything they get for just 5 manageable payments of $19.99.
They get the complete His and Hers Kanye West butt plug collection, which includes the Amber Rose Finger Popper, the Knuckle Deep, and the Ray J Gapper, Kim's favorite. Call now. Supplies are limited.
That's right, people. Dial the number at the bottom of the screen. Supplies are limited. Like he said, supplies are limited. Welcome back from the commercial break. The second half of our episode is brought to us by Fire Alien Kush, a hybrid bud.
It definitely is that.
This is where we talk about the directors and actors' previous bodies of work. We're going to start it off with 2016's Hail Caesar.
We're going to start off with the directors, the Coen brothers. I have chosen 2010's True Grit, starring Jeff Bridges, Matt Damon, and Haley Stanfield.
That was a good movie, a remake of an earlier one with John Wayne.
Oh, wow.
And I like about that movie is they pretty much kept the same dialogue. They talked the same.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an awesome remake.
It was a good movie. Jeff Bridges plays a crotchety old bounty hunter, was a U.S. Marshal, and being commissioned to find a one Tom Chaney, played by Josh Brolin, who has killed Haley Stanfield's father. And so she gets she finds the most ruthless headhunter she can find to hunt him down and bring him to justice. You should go check this movie out. I don't think it's on Netflix or anything, right?
Keep an eye out for it. I remember it was up there at one time.
But if you have the chance to see it, definitely watch it.
Another movie of the Coen brothers I want to bring up is 1996's Fargo.
Absolutely.
Great movie,
Yeah.
great actors in it. It starred
What's her name?
William H. Macy, Frances McDormand.
Frances McDormand was the editor for the movies in Hail Caesar.
Really?
She was the one who got her neckerchief stuck in the...
Oh, yeah!
That's her. She was in Fargo.
Oh, that's hilarious. Steve Buscemi was also in it.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie. William H. Macy's wife is kidnapped. Frances McDormand is the sheriff that's looking for the kidnapped wife. Great movie. Such a great movie that it's now a TV show with Billy Bob Thornton.
That's right. And it's also pretty good from what I hear.
And they made it to season 2 at least. And then another movie of the Coen brothers that I'd like to bring up is 1998's The Big Lebowski, starring Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, Julianne Moore, Steve Buscemi, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Jeff Bridges plays the dude.
The dude!
And he's mistaken for a millionaire that has the same name as him. And the millionaire owes bad people money. Julianne Moore. She comes in and pretty much just takes his favorite rug. And he gets pissed off. And they take him too. And they pretty much say, hey, you owe us money. And he's like, I'm not him. I'm me. Great movie. A lot of swearing.
Absolutely.
So we're going to move on to the actors of the movie. Who you want to bring up first? Josh Brolin?
Definitely Josh Brolin. So, since we already talked about it once, Josh Brolin was also in True Grit. That was my first movie for him, but I couldn't skip that for the Coen brothers. It's one of their best movies. So I'm going to choose True Grit again for Josh Brolin. And also, I'm going to raise you an American Gangster.
With Denzel Washington.
That's right. He plays Detective Trupo, who is in charge of a task force to stop Denzel Washington's character from selling his blue magic, which is heroin for its time in the 60s?
Yes. 2012 Men in Black 3. I thought the third movie was better than the second one. And Josh Brolin playing Kay, Tommy Lee Jones' character, a younger version, spot on. For about the first 20 minutes that he was in it, I was thinking, did they CGI Tommy Lee Jones to make him look younger? He did an awesome job.
Yeah, I had that one on here too, a good one.
Josh Brolin is also Thanos.
He is Thanos in the upcoming, and since they started, right?
Yeah,
he's been in the movies.
Uncredited, but he's been in the movies. He's playing Thanos.
He's in almost all of them now. Just as a side character.
Yeah, but we'll see him in the next movies coming up.
He's going to be badass, bro.
Hell yeah. Now we also have George Clooney. Who do you got for George Clooney? Hit me.
All right. I chose 2013's Gravity, where he plays Matt Kowalski, astronaut who works with
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock's character on a space station? A satellite?
Space station.
Well, they're mechanics for, trying to fix things in space, which is very technical, the way I made it sound. Problems happen. I think they get hit by a space junk comes flying through, stuff that we've sent over the decades into space has come back to haunt us and put these two astronauts in peril. And definitely check it out. It is a very good movie.
I really didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like Gravity.
I thought it was better than Interstellar.
Really?
I thought those two were the twos. They were like, they weren't the same, but they both took place in space and they were like the same time.
I liked Interstellar. I just thought it was too damn long. But I like Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. I was excited for Gravity, but it let me down. I really didn't think it was that exciting.
There were a lot of just unbelievable things that had to happen for the movie to end up the way it did. And so it was a little unbelievable because it's space, but it was enjoyable.
Who else you got for George Clooney?
I also have, which is my premium pick, 1996's From Dusk Till Dawn.
Quentin Tarantino
That's
movie?
right. He plays one of the two Gecko brothers, with Quentin Tarantino playing the other one. And they're criminals running around the countryside, just terrorizing, robbing, and killing people. And they happen upon this family in this RV taking a vacation. They take them hostage, and they're like, you're going to take us to Mexico. We got to get this money to get our drugs. And so they stop on their way to Mexico at this bar in the middle of nowhere, Mexico. And everything seems normal, a little crude, a little unsavory people there, but...
Yeah, they definitely don't got an A food rating.
It was a normal bar until night hit. And then you find out that everyone in the bar, almost everyone, were vampires. And everyone that was in the bar that wasn't a vampire was there to be eaten.
All the patrons were dinner. Good Quentin Tarantino movie.
Absolutely. Do you have any?
I do have a couple. 1999's Three Kings. You ever seen that?
Yeah, it was with
Mark
Ice
Wahlberg,
Cube?
Ice Cube.
That's right. That was a good movie. That was one of, it was about the gold, right?
Yes, they're in the military in Desert Storm, I believe.
Yes.
And do they get the gold or they hear about it?
Mm-hmm. And they decided to go after it.
Yeah, they decided to go
Because
after the
it's unaccounted
treasures.
for, and they could keep it.
And it's loosely based on a true story.
Yeah.
Great movie. Mark Wahlberg does an excellent job. I think the dynamic they have is hilarious. It's kind of low-key movie, but it's definitely entertaining. Another one I have that also has Mark Wahlberg in it. 2000's The Perfect Storm.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Based on another true story.
Yeah.
Which was a great movie. It was about a fishing boat that goes out right before a storm. They get the best catch of their life.
Right.
It's going to make them the most money. They're not going to have to go out for at least another season.
But they know that a storm is coming, so they have to get out there and get back in before this thing hits them.
Great movie based on a true story. Don't want to ruin any more of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you see it, I've seen it on Netflix a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see it, definitely watch it. And then
I have one more actor for this movie to talk about. And he hasn't really done much. He's kind of new. But it's Alden Ehrenreich. He's going to be the new Han Solo.
I hear that.
They're going to make, I don't know how many, they said an anthology of Han Solo films. He is the new Han Solo. I can see this being like a TV show. Like
I
not
hear it's
being,
a movie. It's a prequel movie.
It makes sense to make it a movie, but I could see this as a TV show. Like something you see on Netflix, their production value is out of this world. It'd be perfect. A perfect setup for them. You could do multiple seasons. It'd be really good. So up next, we have 2016's The Finest Hours. Its director was Craig Gillespie. You have anything for Craig Gillespie?
I do. I have the 2011's Fright Night, the remake of the original Fright Night back in the 70s. And one of the things I liked about this movie is they had the original vampire have a cameo in this movie. It was Colin Farrell played the next door neighbor vampire. It had Anton
Yelchin?
Yes, playing the neighbor kid. I thought it was a good remake.
I have 2007 Mr. Woodcock.
With Sean William Scott.
That's right.
And Billy Bob Thornton, Susan Sarandon.
Sean William Scott plays a successful student who has a big beef with his PE teacher.
He has a self-help book to get over his Mr. Woodcock picking on him back in high school. And he comes home to be awarded like the city award for achievement and finds out that Billy Bob is banging his mom, Susan Sarandon.
You mean Mr. Woodcock is banging his mom?
Yeah.
And so he's obviously not happy about it, and so he tries to find a bunch of different ways to get him out of his mother and his life for the rest of his life. And hilarity ensues. It's a decent flick. It's definitely make you laugh a couple times.
See, next up we have Chris Pine. You know what they call Chris Pine fans? Pine nuts.
No way.
I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
Shut the
I
fuck
read
up.
that the
There's
other
a
day.
real name. What is this?
Yeah.
Did you read Tiger Beat for that one?
No. I read an article on it. Pine nuts.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start that off. 2009, Star Trek, and the other one, Into Darkness, and the new one that's coming out.
Star Trek Beyond, which comes out July 8th. It's right around the
That's
corner.
right. He plays the captain, James Tiberius Kirk.
Oh, he does an awesome job at it.
Awesome.
I'm not really a Star Trek fan.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw the first movie, I was like, this is awesome. He's killing it.
I went into the movie with low expectations. I thought it was just going to be another remake. It was just going to be just blah, 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 same shit over again. They knocked it out of the park. Like, because, I equate this movie to Transformers in that way. Because I had very low expectations of Transformers. And they just blew it out of the water. Take it to new directions you didn't think was possible. And that was definitely Star Trek series. They've really done well with that.
Yeah, we definitely, both of us recommend you watch the first two movies. Get ready for the July 8th of Star Trek
Beyond. Yeah, that's right. Do you have one?
2010 Unstoppable with Denzel Washington.
That's a good one. It's where him and Denzel Washington
It sounds corny, too, the plot, doesn't it? It's a runaway train that can't stop.
Mm-hmm.
But they actually do a good job. Denzel Washington's a great actor. Mm-hmm. Chris Pine really brings it in. And they have a good dynamic, and they work well in this movie.
Mm-hmm. I also have 2014's Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit.
Has Kevin Costner in it.
That's right. And Keira Knightley. He plays a CIA operative that uncovers a plot to commit a terrorist act on the United States. And yeah, he has to stop it. It's Jason Bourne-esque. He does all right in it. It's not bad.
He was also in 2014's Horrible Bosses 2.
He was funny in that.
Yes, he was. Jason Bateman, Kevin Spacey, Jason Sudeikis, Charlie Day, Jennifer Aniston, Jamie Foxx. Jennifer Aniston is a little sex demon.
Sex dentist demon.
Yeah. Her character is just too damn funny.
Absolutely.
And she makes everything awkward for Charlie Day.
Yeah, she's a sexaholic. And she tries to sleep with every man she sees because she thinks of them as trophies. And Charlie Day the whole time is trying to fight. He works for her. He's trying to fight her off for both movies. And I think he ends up getting got.
I think it gets close and his girlfriend busts him or so. I don't. It's Horrible Bosses 1 and 2 are definitely two funny movies to watch.
I really like Jamie Foxx. He played
Motherfucking
Jones. Motherfucking Jones. And they think just because he's black in both movies that he must be a criminal and must know how to commit crime. So they pay him too much money for not much
bad advice.
Yeah,
bad advice.
Yeah, he also finds a way to save him in both movies, I think, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Next up, we got Ben Foster. What do you got for Ben Foster?
I got 2013's Lone Survivor, where a group of SEALs are sent to hunt down a Taliban leader in real life. In 2005, this happened. So this group of SEALs are stuck behind enemy lines and almost immediately are set upon by the enemy. So they have to retreat immediately. And it's about their struggle to get out of there, and they really had no help. All they could do is they were by themselves. Just 4 men against a whole terrorist regime, all hunting them down with AK-47s.
It also stars Mark Wahlberg, Taylor Kitsch, Emil Hirsch.
Yeah. I also have 2006 X-Men First Class and the second one. What was the second one called? Days of Future Past. He plays Angel, Warren Warrington III, and he has his special powers. He has wings and he can fly. Yeah, I think he's going to be in the third one too, right? Is he in Age of Apocalypse? So he's going to play Angel in that one too, right?
I believe so.
Okay. I think something big happens with him in that movie. Just no spoilers. I haven't seen it yet, but I'll let you know.
Ben Foster and Emil Hirsch also did another movie back in 2006. A great movie. Alpha Dog.
Alpha Dog was really good.
And with Justin Timberlake.
That's right. He killed it in that movie, if I remember correctly.
Yes. And another Anton Yelchin movie.
Yeah.
It's about a drama based on a life of Jesse James Hollywood, a drug dealer who becomes one of the youngest men to ever be wanted on the FBI's most wanted list.
That's right.
Great movie. Timberlake kills it.
Right.
Ben Foster kills it.
Mm-hmm.
He is just crazy in the movie.
He plays a former white supremacist. He is a white supremacist, right?
Just a drugged up lunatic, pretty much.
Whose brother gets kidnapped by these drug dealers so that he can pay them back the money he owes them. Yeah,
he's crazy. He actually did glaucoma drops in his eyes in the movie to make it look like he was high as shit.
So he was high as shit then.
No, it's just to dilate your pupils.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like going to the eye doctor and drip, drip, drip. We also got 2009 Pandorum.
I have seen that. That is a fantastic movie. So they have this really long journey in space, and so in order to make this journey to a new habitable planet, the crews take shifts of
hypersleep.
Hypersleep, where they take 7-year shifts, and then they switch between the crews every 7 years. Well, something has gone wrong between 7 years, and Ben Foster is suddenly awoken and found out that nothing is as it seems.
And he has no memory of what's going on.
He's a complete amnesiac, and he finds out that there are creatures living on the ship that he's been on for hundreds of years that have completely decimated the crew and the mission, and he has to find a way to survive in this crazy environment that he's probably not going to get out of.
It was a great movie. It had Dennis Quaid in it, Norman Reedus.
Oh, Norman Reedus was only in it for a minute, too.
Yeah.
Just a second before he just gets snatches up.
I also want to bring up another movie he did was 310 to Yuma.
Yeah.
And I bring that up because Fel Reed, he's a professional gunslinger. He taught Ben Foster how to gunsling for that movie.
Okay.
He also taught Kirk Russell and Val Kilmer to gunsling for Tombstone back in the day. I thought that's a pretty amazing...
I'll be a Huckleberry.
I'll be a Huckleberry. Next actor.
Eric Bana?
Eric Bana.
Sounds good. I have chosen 2011's Hannah, where he plays a father who is a former agent of some sort, spy, who raises his daughter to be the perfect assassin to get revenge on the people who killed his wife, her mother.
Yes.
And so, what's her name? Saoirse Ronan kills it in this movie. She plays this badass little 16-year-old girl who just goes around just fucking kicking ass the whole movie from beginning to end. Kate Blanchett is also in it. You should definitely check it out. It's a fun, action-packed movie.
I got 2009's Star Trek. Comes back to that with Eric Bana. Chris Pine. Good movie. Definitely need to watch. We've mentioned it multiple times.
Yeah. I have 2005's Munich, where he plays Avner. And it's a true story based on Black September. Israeli athletes were assassinated during the Olympics. And a 5-man crew that was made in order to catch and bring the people to justice who had committed this travesty against the Israeli people and the people of the world who were enjoying the Olympics at the time. It's definitely a very good movie. They make mention of it in a movie I talked about earlier, Knocked Up.
Yes.
I remember when they're in the bar, he goes, you ever seen Munich? Yeah, I've seen Munich. Most of the time, it's Jews getting fucked up. This time, they turn it on their ass, and it's Jews are the ones kicking the ass in that movie. So if anyone gets laid tonight, it's because of Eric Bana in Munich. And my last one for him is 2004's Troy. He plays Hector.
With Brad Pitt.
Yeah, the Prince of Troy. The hero of legend. Even though he was young for his age, he had still accomplished so much in the movie. It's about the fall of Troy, the Trojan horse, all that old stuff you heard about growing up as a kid. Brad Pitt, Orlando Bloom, Diane Kruger plays Helen of Troy, and yeah, if you haven't seen that movie before, you should definitely check the one out. It's
Brad Pitt got ripped
one
for
of my
that
favorite
movie.
movies. Absolutely,
He was huge.
absolutely. He kicked a lot of ass too.
Yeah, he played Achilles.
Mm-hmm. He actually hurt his Achilles in that movie.
Did he really?
He really did, because that movie does where he jumps up off of one foot and then
Oh, yeah.
he kept twisting his ankle.
Oh, shit.
And so he tore it. I don't know if he tore it because he injured it really bad. I don't think he tore it because they would have to stop production for like 12 months if he fucking tore it. That's just torn Achilles is no joke.
Yeah.
And what do you have for Eric Bana?
I only have one more, and that's Finding Nemo, just because I'm excited for the sequel coming out, Finding Dory.
Who was he playing Finding Nemo? I didn't know he was in that.
He played Anchor.
Who was that? Was he one of the
I think that was one of the sharks.
I think it was one of the sharks, too.
Next, we'll move on to the director of Neighbors.
Neighbors 2.
Neighbors 2, yes.
Sorority Rush?
Yep. Nicholas Stroller.
That's a terrible name, just so you know. I thought Neighbors 2 would have said it all.
I only want to mention one movie that it did previous. It's 2010's Get 'Em to the Greek with Jonah Hill and Russell Brand. Mm-hmm. Jonah Hill works for
Puff Daddy,
which was fucking hilarious of the movie.
Yeah.
And he's a music promoter, and he's got to get Russell Brand,
what's his name? Aldous Snow. Aldous.
To the Greek Theater Hall in L.A.
Mm-hmm. So he can perform what's a tribute?
20th anniversary or something of his
like
first
that.
album, which is hilarious what he has to do to get there. There's a song in the movie, When the World Flips You a Jeffrey. Remember that?
Yeah.
You know who originally wrote that song?
Who?
Hanson.
What?
Yes. Furry Walls. That's the name of it.
For the movie?
No, like 10 years before the movie came out. They originally wrote that song, Furry Walls.
About what they're talking about?
I don't know.
It's just a Furry Wall song.
Yes,
that's fucking
but
weird.
It's word for word, and When the World Flips You a Jeffrey. So, but that was a good movie. But we'll move on to Seth Rogen.
I have up first 2011 until this year, or until now, the TV show The League. It's a fantasy football show. It's very funny. You should check it out. He plays a porn producer, director, and actor who's one of the filthiest people on the show. I mean, just one of the nastiest people on the show. Dirty Randy. And while he doesn't have a big part, he's in quite a few episodes. If you're into fantasy football at all, or just people just like constantly just bagging on each other, that's the show for you because it is funny. Yep, definitely check out The League. I also have 2014's The Interview, where he plays Aaron Rappaport, David Skylark, James Franco's character's producer, who helps produce his TV show that's been on for 10 years. And
the opening to that movie killed me.
Oh, where Eminem came out as gay?
Yeah.
It's funny we talk about this, because I just watched that movie last night. I showed it to my wife, and my wife had never seen it, and she laughed the whole time. And I forgot how funny the movie was because I haven't seen it since it came out. Because remember all that stuff happened with
big
Sony
controversy, Sony being hacked
by North Korea, they say, but who knows? Yeah, it's funny. Definitely
The
check it
movie
out.
was funny.
That's on Netflix. It was released on Netflix because of all that controversy.
No, it came out on YouTube.
No, it was
then
Netflix.
YouTube, and then Netflix picked it up like a week later because it was supposed to go to theaters, but with everything going on, a bunch of theaters dropped out. So they just threw it up on YouTube.
Right.
And then Netflix bought it.
My last movie for Seth Rogen is 2007's Knocked Up. He plays Ben Stone, and Katherine Heigl have a one-night stand, and she ends up pregnant with his baby. And they're two completely different people. He's a pot-smoking webhead.
Porn.
Yeah.
Web owner.
Yeah, he's a porn website owner, and it's not really porn. It's like a Mr. Skin website. And she is a professional producer at E! Online, or ETV, or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah, ETV. She is a host.
She turns into a host during the movie. Starring Paul Rudd, who plays
his future brother-in-law.
Yeah, Pete, and he is one of his best roles in that movie. Also starring Leslie Mann.
Well, they got a spin-off from this. This is 40.
Yeah.
Which was a good movie. Yeah. This movie also has Jason Segel in it, Jonah Hill,
Jay Baruchel, and Martin Starr. You can not talk about her or him. And Charlene Yee, she played Jodie.
Well, I have 2011's Paul with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Seth Rogen does the voice to an alien that they pick up and are taking to meet the mothership, pretty much. That also has Jason Bateman in it playing a government guy that had Paul under security, under lockdown. And his boss is Sigourney Weaver, which is kind of funny in dealing with aliens.
Yeah.
But great movie. Seth Rogen is just hilarious, raunchy alien that just gets stoned. It's a funny movie. They did a good job. I also have 2008's Pineapple Express with James Franco.
That reminds me.
Seth Rogen plays a process server, and James Franco plays his drug dealer. Saul. Seth Rogen accidentally sees a murder from someone he's supposed to serve, and it turns out to be his drug dealer's drug dealer. Well, he freaks out, goes to his drug dealer, and they both freak out, and it's a great movie. Very hilarious.
Very, very hilarious.
Definitely put it up high in my Seth Rogen category.
He means high. Make sure you're that before you watch that movie. It's hilarious. You got one more?
I do. I have 2008's Zach and Miri Make a Porno.
Oh, that's funny.
I think it's a really funny movie.
What year? What year was that?
2008. It was directed by Kevin Smith.
Oh, no way.
Which he's going to have a movie coming out one of these days, and we're going to be talking about all his movies. But yes, it's one of the movies he directed. Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks play roommates that have known each other for...
Platonic roommates.
They're going nowhere. He works in a coffee shop. She works in a... Does she work? She works somewhere, but they need money. Their power's getting shut off. Their water's getting shut off. Their rent's due, so they decide...
All because he decided to buy a fleshlight.
Yeah.
He wanted a fleshlight real bad. And, they try to come up with a scheme to make, a lot of money so that they can pay for their rent. So they decide, obviously, because it's the next logical choice, they start making porno. So they decide to do a Star Wars parody porno. And they get Craig...
Craig Robinson.
They get Craig Robinson's character to fund it. instead of buying a big screen TV, which he really wanted.
I really liked the movie. It also had Justin Long in it.
Mm-hmm. He played the gay porn star.
With, what was the Superman's name? It wasn't the very good Superman.
He's in the
Brandon Roth?
Routh, yeah.
Great movie. Very funny. They even worked in Jason Mewes since Kevin Smith directed it. Got to get Jay in there somehow.
Yeah, he was one of the porn actors in it. Let us fuck. All right, we'll move on to Zac Efron. You got anything for Zac?
I don't.
I have a couple, so I'll let you borrow one. 2014's The Awkward Moment, starring, obviously Zac Efron, Michael B. Jordan, and Miles Teller. And they're, 3 college graduates who have been perpetual bachelors and are happy about it up until now. And they all find a special woman that changes who they are fundamentally. And change who, they think about what kind of people, what kind of lives they've been living, and how lonely they've been, and they find love. It's definitely a movie you should watch with a girl. If you got a girl. If you don't, just get some Kleenex so you can, for your tears, because you're lonely. But that's fine. It's okay to be lonely. And
I do know he's going to be in the Baywatch reboot movie with The Rock. Mm-hmm. I don't think the movie's necessary, but I wish him luck.
Is The Rock just willing to take anything nowadays?
I think so.
All right. And this is the one you can borrow. 2007 Hairspray. It took me a long time. I think I talked about this already on a previous podcast.
John Travolta, a remake of the 90s version with, what was her name? She had a talk show for a while.
Sally Jesse Raphael.
No.
Ricky Lake?
Was it Ricky Lake?
It was Ricky
I
Lake.
think it might have been Ricky Lake.
I think it's Ricky Lake. He plays Link Larkin, a television heartthrob who dances American Bandstand type TV show. He's one of the main dancers on the show.
It's got Christopher Walken in it. Him and Travolta have a little dance.
It is a good movie. I wish I hadn't waited so long to see it, because I would have liked it then, I know. And that's the one you get to borrow. You have to watch that one. That's one you have to watch.
I'll try.
You're lying. You're never going to watch it. I know it.
Probably not. Dave Franco. He's in this movie. A smaller part than he had in the first one. In the first Neighbors.
Yeah, well, they weren't living next door anymore.
Yeah. But 2013, Now You See Me with Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg.
Plays the card thrower.
Yes.
He's the thief. He was a thief.
He was a thief. Great movie. Part 2 is about to come out with Daniel Radcliffe in it. I'd also like to mention 2012's 21 Jump Street.
That's a hilarious movie.
22 Jump Street, he has a small part in it, but it is hilarious the little part he is in it. 21 Jump Street was a reboot from the early 90s, late 80s?
Early 90s with Johnny Depp.
He had appearance in the 2012 remake. Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum, they're just hilarious with Ice Cube in it. Mm-hmm. Great set of movies. Do you have anything for Dave Franco?
I don't have anything for Dave Franco. I used the rest of my energy on Chloe Grace Moretz. So why don't you finish Dave Franco off for me?
That's all I really got for Dave Franco.
Okay, let's move on. This is easy for me. 2014's The Equalizer. She plays a young prostitute being used by the Russian mob, and she becomes the reason why Denzel Washington's character, who used to be all the movies are spy movies.
Yeah. It seems like we got a trend.
He's a former spy who
just wants to live a normal life.
He has retired from that life, but he finds this terrible thing happened to Terry, and he decides to make it right, and he starts a war with the Russians. Check it out. It is a great movie.
You can't really go wrong with the Denzel Washington movie.
And do you have anything for her? Because I got one more.
I have the Kick-Ass movies.
Yes.
She stole those movies.
What was her name?
Hit Girl.
Hit Girl. She kicked so much ass in that first. She was so tiny, bro.
I know, the first one with Nick Cage, she whooped ass.
I just wonder, does she really know how to fight? Because she looked so good as a fighter in that movie.
Everything was so fluid motion.
Oh, man, and
Yeah, Kick-Ass, kid decides that why can't anyone be a superhero?
Yeah,
so he orders a bunch of shit offline, dresses in spandex, gets his ass kicked, so he has to get reinforcement bars in his bones.
And he loses all feeling in his body, so
he gets nerve damage.
Yeah, so he can't feel any pain, which is his superpower pretty much.
And Nick Cage and Chloe are the real superheroes.
Yeah, he's Big Daddy, her father, who has trained her since she was a little girl. That's another freaking recurring theme in this thing, where it trains her to be the perfect fighting machine.
And in the second movie, was Jim Carrey was the big star.
What was his name in that one?
Captain Do-Good or something.
Captain Do-Good. Colonel Stars and Stripes.
Well, he was funny in the movie, but Chloe still stole that one. I look forward to see her in more films.
Right. Another reason why you should is 2010's Let Me In. She plays a vampire girl named Abby who takes up for this really bullied kid, and she starts killing people associated with picking on them. And it is absolutely creepy. It's a remake of another movie called Let the Right One In. Definitely check that one out. See the original too.
Yeah, I hear she's in talks to play Little Mermaid, Ariel, in the live action. So maybe see her in the future, maybe not. Time will tell. I have high hopes for her. I really do. Looks like that's going to bring our show to the end.
Yeah, I guess so. It was fun, guys.
We also want to give a thanks to Jessica Robin Eads for our fabulous artwork for our podcast. Thank you very much. Also like to give another shout out to Squirrely and Kyle, a couple of the original creators of the Fire Safety Meeting. We would like to thank anyone and everyone that is listening to us, and I want to ask you to leave comments, subscribe, like us at all over the place. Where can they find us, Jesse?
You can find us on youtube.com/stick and swoop. You can tweet us at stick and swoop at Fire Safety Meet. And you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Fire Safety Meeting.
You can also find us at firesafetymeeting.wix.com/podcast. Our website also has links to everything else.
Thank you very much, guys. Please like, subscribe, comment,